Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm a kinesiologist, intuitive healer, and liquid crystals practitioner. Welcome to my liquid crystals video series. The intent of this series is to help both my clients and other people who are interested to understand the benefits and the purpose of the liquid crystals, and also to answer some frequently asked questions that might help you to understand a little bit more about what to do when you've got a remedy, what to do afterwards, and so on. So in this first video, I'm answering the questions: what are the liquid crystals and why I like using them in my clinic with my clients? So this is coming very much from a place of my own experience. I'm not a teacher of the system, but I do love them and have been working with them for a couple of years now. I began working with the liquid crystal oracle deck before I began using the remedies. And these are, I'll just show you. This is the liquid crystal oracle deck, the back and the front. And as you can see, that's a chart for the liquid crystals behind me. So there are 77 crystals in the main liquid crystal system. Each of the crystals is made up of minerals and elements that also exist in the human body, which is the first clue about the link between using the liquid crystals for healing. Humans, they also work with animals. You can also use them on your garden, in your food, all sorts of different ways. So where to begin? So there are two different ways to begin with, of working with the crystals. The first one is using the oracle cards. So that's these guys. And the second is the remedies that you can take internally. The cards are actually, I'm going to show you diamond now, gateways. They're portals and gateways for working with the frequency of that particular crystal. So on the card you can see at the very top there's the name of the what's called the deva, or the consciousness being that governs that particular frequency of the crystal. There is some script there in the middle, which is actually kind of like knocking on the doorway of that frequency. There's the name of the crystal, and underneath is what's called the simple purpose. So the simple purpose of diamond is light body. And so when you get these cards, there's a guidebook that comes with it as well. It's quite enormous, it's quite thick, mine's indexed. And there's a great deal of information in there on each of the crystals, how to use them, different ways to activate and use the cards, and so on. So there's a lot you can do just by using the cards. You can get them in most hippie bookshops, you can get them on Amazon or Book Depository, and so on. And so I actually recommend to my clients, once they start working with them and find they like the cards, to get a set for themselves so they can start doing some self-care at home as well. So in my sessions that I do here in my clinic, I work with the cards, put them on people's body, under the table, under their pillow, and so on. They help to create an energetic frequency around the person that is required sometimes for that healing session, and different crystals will reveal themselves as being required for a particular session or a particular time, and so on. So that's the first way you can work with them. They're very effective. There's a lot of different applications of the crystals from the different realms that you might want help with. So it might be physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual support. And if you have a really close read of the information in the book, then you can get a lot of insights and supports to help you in different ways. So that's the first way. And then the second way is the liquid crystal remedies that are made up using liquid crystal stock, in similar way to, not the same, but similar as you have liquid flower essence stock. And we actually work with the stock and also with the card together. They come together and they create the remedy in a bottle of usually alcohol and purified water. That then suspends and supports the remedy to stay active for as long as we need it for. So here's a couple of bottles that I've got of different remedies. So they often come in little bottles like this. And so they can be taken internally. Now, the really cool thing about taking liquid crystals internally is that, as I mentioned, the frequency of the crystal resonates with different mineral components that are in the human body. So when you take a crystal, you actually are calling forth in your body the frequency and the minerals that relate to that crystal. And so then you actually become that crystal for the day. It's very cool. And so, for example, what have I got here? I'll just read a little bit about emerald. So emerald is, simple purpose is spiritual healing. And say there's all sorts of different stories and information about emerald in this book. But for example, it talks about on the physical level that it can be used to support the heart, the kidneys, the liver, and the pancreas. So if somebody was presenting with one of those issues, then that may be one of the remedies that steps forward and says, yes, this person needs emerald. So we put that into the body and then you become emerald, and then all of the healing properties of emerald that are required to support you do their thing and help to create positive change in your body. Very gently, very subtly sometimes not so subtly. Really just depends. But absolutely doing their thing in the background to help create positive and lasting change. So that is a little bit about the liquid crystals. There's a lot more to say. The system is vast, as you can see from the chart behind me that's cross-referencing a whole bunch of stuff. So the more that you learn about the liquid crystals, the more that you learn that it's related to what's known as the tree of life, which is related to both Kabbalah and the tarot and all sorts of things like that. And also to the lost city of Atlantis. And there's archangels, plants, totem animals, everything is interconnected. And that's really the point of this system, is that everything is interconnected. And so as the creator of the system, Justin likes to say, for every ailment that human beings have, there is a remedy in nature. It's just that we haven't necessarily figured out what it is that we need. So the liquid crystals have been created as a way to help people reconnect into that more holistic way of seeing themselves and also the holistic way of healing. So that's a bit about the crystals. That's why I like using them in clinic, because they are so powerful. They really support clients between sessions. So we do an amazing healing session. The crystals continue the job. So the crystals that I offer people at the end of their session for them to take home, that is very much an aspect of, okay, we've done this work, what does this person need to continue that work over the next month? So yeah, I think they're amazing little tools. They're also quite inexpensive. So a single remedy is like $7.50. A Trinity is $21. That's at this point of making this video. That may change in future, who knows? So they're quite inexpensive, very powerful, really useful for a lot of different physical, mental, emotional, spiritual healing needs. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you in the next video, where I'm going to talk about the different ways that they're prescribed and the dosage. Talk to you soon.